changing in the banking ecosystem, without any doubt, what is happening in technology today or these days is very different from how technology used to be viewed in the past. In the past, and I've done banking for 25 years, technology was a big enabler to driving business outcomes. Today, technology is not just an enabler, but is the determinant of what the banking strategy ought to be like. So that is a big fundamental shift in the way you look at business strategy as a result of technology. The other thing I might add is that the kind of toolkits that are now available in the new world of technology are such that they can be adopted by a lot more people than very technical specialists as it used to be in the past. So the ability to adopt AI or machine learning or cloud or data or blockchain, etc., is now far more widespread than ever before. And the last point is customers have no tolerance for banks that do not adopt technology. So if you put the three together, that determines what's happening in the ecosystem today. Banks driving innovation and digital technology is actually not so much a technology question as much as a cultural question. And if you think of banks, I work for ANZ Bank, it's 185 odd years old. It requires a change in the way you manage people as opposed to how you manage technology. So the people strategy precedes the technology strategy. So innovation is an outcome of how you are focused on reskilling your people and creating an environment where your staff are able to contribute with what they come up with. And that's a different world that we live in today compared to how it used to be. So innovation is driven culture down as opposed to technology up. I think there's if I may say, a little bit of flaw in the question, because you do not want to be immune to this so-called competition, because immune means you want to reject what is coming. And actually what you want to do is embrace what digibanks and technology is offering to the banking industry. So that is one thing. The second thing I'd say is they are competitors on the one hand, but actually they are big partners, more importantly. And there are learnings on both sides, if you like, from banking institutions' point of view and from the new age technology companies' point of view. What is new age today are actually legacy technologies of the future. So it is wiser for banks and for new age companies to come together in this region. And this region already, I was reading, it has more than 80 fintech companies in the GCC countries. More than 60-70% are based in UAE. So if you have regulators who have the vision to make use of these technologies, which certainly UAE has, then you narrow the gap and you don't treat it as competition that you want to stay immune from. You treat it as enablers that you want to embrace with. My sense of the way I think things might evolve is, number one, I think there will be more jobs created than lost, without any doubt. Number two, there is far more capital and investment available for entrepreneurship and for risk-taking. Number three, I think there is a move for purpose-driven investment. Earlier we all grew up looking at the government to solve society's challenges. Today, the younger generation does not look as much to some other administrators. They use technology, they look at technology. And so solving those kind of problems which have a purpose behind them is what is a big motivator for these youngsters, which is fantastic. Fourth, I might say that there is a dominant conversation on technology with respect to, and progress with respect to consumers, retailers, payments, etc. And I think that conversation will shift materially towards corporate and institutional banking, speaking of the banking industry. We in ANZ, for example, have made enormous progress adopting AI and machine learning for our corporate and institutional clients and improving our employee experience. So that is another shift that might take place. The fifth, I might say, is there are 30,000 banks in the world, give or take few thousands. They are not going to vanish anywhere. If you think of the fact that banking industry invests over $600 billion every year in technology, I think the adoption of new technologies such as blockchain, which is very popular in conversations these days, will go off the lingo because that will be how things are done along with artificial intelligence or cloud or data or machine learning and things like that. So the profile of the conversation that it today has, I think, will shift to adoption and less about the technical, does it work, does it not work, sort of question. So I think it will be dominantly implemented, but it won't be spoken as much as it is today. I don't know if I'm right, but we'll see.